Series. I want to bring on, because they're standing by and they're very patient. That's Joe Nemechek and John Hunter Nemechek. And Nemco announced that Nemco Motorsports is going to partner with Chevrolet starting in 2015. Let me bring Joe Nemechek on first. Joe, it's not a new topic. You yourself know how hard it's been. If you have a son or anyone that you are helping to teach, the drivers all talk about that. Ward Burton, mentions it with Jeb looking for a ride and that sort of thing. It's not the easiest thing in the world, for these young drivers to make it. And you have really worked hard to help John Hunter because he's a talented young man. So let's start there. You totally understand what that last caller was talking about, Joe.
Oh, absolutely. It's so hard for any young person anymore to get a break in the sport. And, it's just like for ourselves. I mean, for John Hunter, we've been trying to do all this stuff ourselves, and we were fortunate. We were able to find some key partners that helped us, pay the bills to get him some experience that he needs to get to that next level. And I know, Sid and Donna from SWM are listening, and all their folks in their facility. Bill Batchmich and his whole group out of Florida. There's just so many people that have helped us, and without that financial backing, you just can't do it. And I mean, there's so many parts to the puzzle which people do not understand, and that it takes to make everything go around. In John Hunter's case, the thing that I think is helping him a lot is he's got determination that this is what he wants to do, and he's going to end up being a champion at this. But as far as myself, I've been doing it long enough that I know all the things that are important, where you have to spend the money to be competitive, and then the things you don't need to spend it on. And we don't have an unlimited budget. Our budget is very, very tight, and we've been able to to have some good results.
Yeah, and John Hunter Nemechek, so talented. They look 18 races with a manufacturer. Joe Nemechek, since fielding Chevrolets in the Xfinity Series in 1991 and winning the 1992 NASCAR Xfinity Series Driver and Owner Championships en route to Manufacturers Championship. And this year, John Hunter Nemechek returns to the number 8 SWM Nemco Motorsports Chevy now, sharing driving duties with his dad until he turns 18, when he plans to compete in the remainder of the Truck Series schedule, beginning at Kentucky Speedway July 9th. John Hunter Nemechek, I want to join you in on the conversation. The other thing is, not every young, talented racer has a father who races and, as Joe said, can teach and show the whole team about where the money should be spent. Also coaches you and is able to take over in the races that you're not old enough to race yet. Not everybody has that either. And are you there, John Hunter?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I got you now, yeah.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate to have Dad by my side. He's taught me everything that he's learned in a 20-year period to me in 3 years. So he's definitely been a big help. But having him around and knowing where to spend money and all that kind of stuff. And like he said, we couldn't have done it without all of our key partners, Mr. Bill and Mr. Sid and Miss Donna, and everyone that helped me start going in legacy cars and everything else. But having him around is definitely something that is very special, and sharing the truck ride with him is even more special.
And Joe, can you talk about the switch to Chevrolet and that decision and getting used to that? And John Hunter had said he had never worked with ECR engines before, so it's a new group of people. But what about Chevrolet now?
Well, it's an exciting time for our team. Getting back with Chevrolet. We've got a lot of good memories with all the Toyota folks, and they've all become good friends of ours. And it's strictly business is what it gets down to. And just like that caller, you have to have all the resources and the financial part of it to be able to get out there and compete. And for us right now, I mean, it's this decision that Mr. Sid, our partner in this, and John Hunter's partner, and myself and John Hunter had to make is where do we go this year and trying to keep getting better. And there's just a lot of stuff that you just weigh out all the pros and cons, and we're back with Chevrolet, and We have some great things going on as far as our truck program, and we've been up. I know John Hunter and myself have both been up to the ECR, or to the Earnhardt Childress engine department, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing the technology they have right there in Welcome, North Carolina. And we're looking forward to a great year, I can tell you that.
And John Hunter, what races are you going to be able to race, and what races does your dad have to race because you're just not old enough?
I missed 5 races in the spring before I turn 18, and I'll get to run Martinsville, Dover, and Gateway. I actually turned 18 a couple days before Gateway, so those are my 3 races in the spring and into the summer, and then after that I'll take over the ride. So I'll miss Daytona, Atlanta, Texas, Kansas, and Charlotte, which kind of stinks, but I'm looking forward to this year.
What does it feel like to watch him turn 18 when he does, to be able to move into a full schedule, Joe? I mean, I can remember when he was just a little kid, and now he's turning 18. I mean, that's just, I can't even fathom it myself almost.
It's funny because we have all the posters and pictures. Mom has kept up with my whole racing career in our showroom there at our race shop in Mooresville, and I know there's a magazine article that was published that shows myself holding John Hunter when he was just born, on the front cover, and here it is, almost 18 years later. He's fixing to run in the big time, and it's just amazing for me. I mean, just so many good memories along the way, and the one thing I do feel good at is all my kids, both Andrew and myself, and the people that we've surrounded ourselves with in racing, have taught John Hunter and the rest of the kids, the right values. And it's so tough in the world today, to try and teach kids that. But, he has a lot of respect for everybody else out there, and I know he wants to be treated, how he treats everybody else, and it's likewise. But I feel like he's a fine young man. He's got good morals and has a lot of respect for the people and equipment out there and what he wants to do, and that's what makes me proud as a dad.
Yeah, I think that's well put. What is it, John Hunter, that your dad has taught you? I mean, there's just no question what he's taught you about how to treat people and how to be polite. Your whole family's like that. What has he taught you about racing? Like, if I could say, what is one thing that you learned from Joe Nemechek about racing, John Hunter, at this young age already, what would you say?
Go fast and don't look back. You have to be smart about what you do. You have to keep your head on straight and be there at the end when it counts in a race. And if you're there at the end and you're up front, you'll have a shot to win. And being up front, it gives you shots to win. But definitely keeping your head on straight. Growing up around the sport, you see the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you see how to act and how not to act and how to interact with people. And I think that's the biggest thing that he's taught me.
Yeah, you want to add to that, Joe, about the racing side of it?
Well, on the racing side, there's so many things. I've been doing this a long time, and when we go to tracks where I've raced at before, I try to tell them what the tendencies are and what's happened in the past. And he's his own person. He has to figure it out once he gets out on the racetrack. But he's a very quick learner. And the one thing I think I have taught him well is you're allowed to make mistakes, but try to only make it once. And if you only make it once, you're going to be that much better. And he's been a very good study of that, and it shows. Every time he goes out on the track. But making smart decisions. There's always risk versus reward. There's so many different things that are involved in all this, and you have to pick your battles and know when it's time to race, because they don't pay anything for that first lap, and they don't pay anything for the middle part of the race. They pay for that last lap. So you got to be there when it counts.
And one other thing that's very well put, John Hunter. Nobody wants whippersnappers around, so it's hard when you're young and you want to race hard, but you want to be respectful, but you're coming into a garage and, you got to race with the veterans and the young bucks. It's a young young man series, and yet it's a veteran series too, you know. So nobody wants anybody coming in going, oh, that's that Nemechek kid. And that was one of your fortes. I think nobody thinks that about you. You've really carried yourself well, but you know what I'm talking about. It's not that easy to come in and race hard and be that Nemechek kid, even though your dad's got a great reputation too, because all of you young drivers who are sons of other drivers, people got their eye on you just in case you slip up.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. It's definitely not easy, like you said, to come into a garage with all these veterans and being a youngster coming in and having the Nemechek name and trying to earn respect. But I've been lucky enough. I grew up around the sport, so most of the veterans in the truck series I've known for a while, and I've actually raced with some of them, like Johnny Sauter. So it's definitely a great opportunity to be able to race with those veterans, but keeping your head on straight throughout the race and just gaining respect. You want to race them hard. You don't want to wreck them, but you want to make sure that they know that you're there. And that's definitely hard to accomplish while trying to go for a win or trying to go for a top 5.
Yeah, that's well put. Hey, Joe, what do you see in the truck series in 2015? Last thing I want to ask you is, like, if you could look to 2015 in the truck series, what in general are you seeing?
What am I seeing?
Yeah, what do you think we're going to see?
I think you're going to see some good racing. I don't think our goal is to be in the front. I don't know if you'll see the KBM domination as it's been. Hopefully we have something to do with that. And I know there's a lot of other teams that are really stepping up their game to be competitive this year. One of the things that we're working really hard on is trying to find additional sponsorship to relieve the burden off of some of our partners. And we're getting close to some new deals out there. We've got a great business guy, Ken Berry, out in California, who's working his tail off trying to put some deals together. But I know for ourselves, I think we have one of the greatest packages out there. Here you got a father and a son out there racing, and I think we're going to definitely contend for an owners championship this year. It's I feel very confident that I'm going to have a shot at winning a race this year, and I know John Hunter is going to have a shot at winning multiple races this year. And that all gets back to the parts and pieces you have, the support you have, and the people you put around you. And we've assembled a great team this year, and we can't wait to get to Daytona. What
do you see, John Hunter, looking forward to 2015, the series?
I see us contending for wins and running up front. I can see us contending for an owners championship, and hopefully we'll win, or I will win Rookie of the Year this year. That's one of my goals this year, is to win a couple races and run up front in every race and contend for wins. So I feel like anybody that gets in our truck, whether it's Dad, me, or even someone else, they will be capable of winning races in our equipment.
Now, you're not competitive with your dad. You can't be. You're too young, right? Are you guys competitive? Either one of you can answer that. Are you?
Oh, yeah. We had a family rivalry last year of who could finish better, and Dad still has it on me. He ended up 3rd at Texas, and my best finish was 5th at New Hampshire. So he still has that one on me, but he won that one on fuel mileage, so I have to remind him of that every once in a while.
I knew you were going to bring that up, fuel mileage. What's the end result, son? The end result.
Yep.
Joe, you know that's going to change one day, don't you? Are you prepared? He's going to win one day ahead of you.
I'm sure it's going to change this year. I really hope both of us can end up in victory lane, and I know he's going to have a shot. And you get down to the end of the year, hopefully we'll have an opportunity to get John Hunter in a nationwide race or two, and just start experiencing that. So I tell you what, 2014 was a really, really impressive year. Especially in the truck series, every race he was in, I think except for one in Montreal, he was a contender. He ran up in the top 5, and our trucks were good. And the late model program, we've stepped that thing up so much. He won Nashville, won the big All-American 400, he won the Snowball Derby.